Uh, he's hitting the button. Can you grab Miguel?
He's hitting the button. I think we're live.
Grab Miguel.
Hit the button. Get me some mac and cheese.
You got to get used to this new system here. So let me make sure we're live because YouTube is stupid now.
Hey,
How
you're
dare
nice
you.
to YouTube.
I think it's working.
Yeah.
Yes, it's working. Oh my God, I'm so
Button was
tired.
hit. Yes.
What's going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again with another RDX podcast. We have a phenomenal set of topics, a great panel. Fonzarelli couldn't be here. xCloud, Tim Dog couldn't be here. They had to meet up at a clown convention, unfortunately. But we've got a pretty substantial panel here and a lot of good opinions. Some Forza Horizon 4, 60 FPS, Xbox One X gameplay on screen. And hey, let us know your thoughts as we go along. We've already got almost 500 people in the chat, guys. Thanks for rocking out with us. Hit the like button, share us out, help us out a little bit. YouTube's been having, I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately, but it's having something. So again, thanks for what you do. Cultist, how are you doing, buddy?
Cultist. I'm doing great. Thanks for, it's a nice day. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, no problem. Spider-Man, by the way, thanks for coming to the channel, everybody. Shout out to all our channel members, green names, icons, etc. All our patrons, all that stuff too. We've also got D-Batch. How you been, buddy?
Good, man. I don't know how it is in the States, but right now it's fucking hot here, man.
America.
Damn it. It's so hot here, man. But apart from that, yeah, doing good. It's good to be inside with the air conditioning now. We got some really good topics today, man. I can't wait to get into them.
Oh, fucking Snake Eyes. He says, shout out to Jeremy. R.I.P. Jeremy, chat. Give Jeremy an R.I.P. We've also got Nukem. What's going on, brother? Thanks for joining us. It's been a minute since we had you on, man. We got some slot. We got more than one slot today, apparently. And kind of great timing.
Oh yeah, I'm here to put the mega back in ton. Can you dig it? Yeah. All right, it's good to be here, man. It's been a long time. Always a pleasure to be on the RDX podcast. And yeah, I'm ready to roll.
He's ready to roll. We're gonna roll you right into the dumpster, Noof. Is that okay? No, it's good. It's great to have you, buddy. Zalker, what's going on, man? It's good to another show, another week. Video games, you know, stuff.
Oh, so many video games, buddy. I'm having a good time eating my Slim Jim that Macho Man just handed me. Thanks, buddy. Feeling good. Slim Jim.
I want to smell that thing for you eat it.
First of all, you just go with it, all right? You just eat it. You deal with the consequences later, and that's how life works, okay?
Shit.
It's kind of like, never mind.
Are you done? Are you done trying to turn that into a joke?
I almost spoiled it. I almost spoiled the last one too, but I didn't. I almost did. Like, I just caught myself.
Oh, shit. Hey, what's going on, Monkey Punch? Everybody in the chat. Shinsaya, everybody. I wish I could say it all. Death Dealer, you stole my name. He says, R.I.P. Jeremy in the super chat. Shout out to Jeremy once again. And his tiny little gravestone in the corner next to the Ouya. So, hey, we've got some, man, god damn, that's a small panel. Well, you know, we got plenty of charisma and personality here. We can get by, okay? And we've also got to give a shout out. Well, let me give a shout out real quick. Matthew Abel, thank you so much. He says, thanks for all of the hard work, guys. Thank you so much. You kept it short and sweet. That's the best kind. Helps me out. Let me get back into these topics. But again, guys, if you're watching this, if you're here, hit that like button, share us out. We do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Let me give some shout outs to my patron shout out tier. Every patron is in that scroll above. If you have signed up for that tier, it should update around the 5th of every month. So the show after the 5th is when you'll see your name in this list. So Snake Eyes, Assassin Lupa, Alec Gamer 4, Frost did that shit, Tony Stark RDX, KY Bob, Foreign Object, Gab Queast, Teo, John Blue, Vec Boss, Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, Scout Trooper 74, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, Chanagram. We've also got Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad, and Slim 73. So thank all you guys and the shout out here and every single patron. All you guys are on. You're fucking awesome. Let's start with the Microsoft Store real quick while we let more people funnel in. We got a ton of great topics, but this is very relevant. And Mr. D-Batch said that he was crying. I'll just say it how it is. He was crying. He sent a video to us of him crying about this Microsoft Store. They're closing. What's going on here, D? Is Microsoft stores they've nuked themselves off the map or what?
Yeah, so at first I thought they were just going to shut down a few of them. So they were going to reduce the number of stores that they have, but they don't really have that many to begin with. And then we found out, that they're closing all of the stores. And for me, I am taking it kind of hard, to be honest with you, because I'm fond of the Halo launches and the console launches. I always do them at the Microsoft store, and their customer service was excellent. I don't know if you've ever been in one of their stores, but
No.
they had the best customer service. You could
Must
bring
Major
your
Nelson in there.
yeah, with his bow tie. If you brought your Xbox into the Xbox store, if it was under warranty, they would just swap it out for you there on the spot. You didn't really have to worry about sending it out. And sometimes, even if it was a little bit over the warranty period, they would have a grace period and they would still honor it, or they would have like a replacement for like $120 or something. They had some great deals on services there. They had stuff for the kids in there. They like most of them in the back.
It's too late to convince motherfuckers not to shut down the Microsoft store. I mean,
yeah, it's just in all honesty, it was a big part of the communities that they were in, because they hosted a lot of events at the store. They had lots of gaming stuff in the back. Like I tried HoloLens out at the Microsoft store. So I'm really gonna miss it. I don't know if they were looking at the logistics and they were saying, listen, during this whole pandemic, we're actually making more money, and and our stores are closed. Maybe we should close the stores, or maybe they saw that shit with Ninja and they said 67 million. Damn, we gotta make some cuts somewhere. I don't know, man. But it's sad to see them close, to be really honest.
How did GameStop outlive a Microsoft store?
I have no idea.
Because this was like an intentional decision. They're like, why are we doing this? Everyone just orders their crap. Amazon.
Well, it's the used game business that still largely keeps the GameStops open at this point. That's I think the difference. Whereas Microsoft, they've largely been just like they were going really strong for a while, but I think the numbers have said that the digital consumption that they're getting through all of their products now, including things like the Windows 365 and a lot of the Xbox stuff, is primarily now digitally consumed. So.
And also, too, the Microsoft store.
Noof put a monocle on for that answer. Jesus Christ, that was very well composed. Not one part joke.
Rando Macho Man Savage to the Monopoly Man. God damn.
Shit. I mean, I never been into a Microsoft store. I always thought, maybe Major Nelson was hiding in there somewhere, so I never went in there. But what's the difference between that and a different store? I don't understand.
Can I just say something about the Microsoft store real quick?
Yes, D-Batch.
They hired a lot of like different types of people. They hired, people that were disabled. They even in my local store, they had a young lady.
It is illegal to discriminate against those people, D-Batch.
No. But to be, of course. But to be honest with you, there's not a lot of big companies that are giving people these positions. And there was a girl that was visually blind in my store, and she did a fantastic job. And I always thought, wow, kudos to you, Microsoft.
That's awesome.
Be inclusive to everybody. I'm sad it's closing. I'm sorry. I'm sad.
Is it illegal for me to join?
Can I just say something? A foul stench just came into the chat.
Hey.
Holy shit, it smells.
You need to take a bath after, that's all. Shit.
I mean, I hopped in here and it smells like non-gaming ass Zucker.
Hey, Randall, I'm glad that Colt most likely secretly texted you and begged you to come on the show. So I'm glad you're here.
Colt did not do that. I tuned in the show, saw that you were down some people, figured I'm gonna jump in there and fill a spot for you, dealer.
Well, you know what, Randall, you're the best, and there's a reason that we hang out every day. So just you're the best friend ever. We've also got 1,400 people watching live, guys. Already hit the like button if you haven't. Share it out. I've got to say it at least 47 times every show. So, Microsoft Store, it got Rona. It's gone. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of just I think what they're using the Rona as the excuse, right? Essentially, like, I don't really think there needs to exist the Microsoft Store when a lot of their products are just sold at Best Buy and their places like Amazon. Of just overhead cost that maybe they don't need anymore, especially with everything kind of moving towards online ordering and stuff like that. It was just one of those kind of situations where it was probably easily just a write-off, especially since the fiscal year starts tomorrow for Microsoft and they probably don't want to allocate any budget to it. But I think like Corona literally accelerated the idea of shutting down those stores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, considering they're probably all closed, you got to pay the rent and all that stuff. It was just like, what, we don't really need these anymore. And, for the people out there that don't know anything about Xbox All Access Pass, for the ones that say, how is it going to be a big thing when Microsoft stores are shutting down? Well, if you actually, were smart, you read up on some stuff, you'd know that they expanded that program to Amazon and Best Buy and different places that are actually way more coverage than
And
Microsoft
Xbox.
Store
Xbox All Access now at Save a Lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Let me give a few shout outs real quick, Brandon. I think that was very well said. You had a monocle on too. Nano Polymath, he says, happy RDX day, guys. Thank you guys for being here for us. Great to be here with you. Sorry, man, I got to skip through, but I do appreciate it. Darj Knight, the crumpet obsessed Brit, one of my best buddies. He says, have a great show, guys. It's July here in London, Xbox month. Yes, big month this month. We'll be talking about that. Hashtag Crumpet Lord. Okay, well, that's I'm not even going to say it.
To say about the Xbox store. This has been going on with a lot of industry. Like if you guys look at the movie industry, a lot of like publishers and all that are going digital. Like the King of Staten Island, like a bunch of things, and they're killing it. They're making a killing just going straight digital and out of the theaters. A lot of things are changing, and this is just one of those things that is going to change.
Do they have figures on that?
Are going to drop. Huh?
Do they have I was actually wondering about that. Like, are those movies going direct to digital? Do they have they released figures on those? And be like, wow.
They have. Like Trolls freaking killed it, made them hundreds of millions of dollars. King of Staten Island has been up there. Exactly. And it's not even a good movie, right? Like it's not even good movies, and they're just making a killing because people are home and they'd rather watch it there. So it's become like this test hub, and it's become like a battle between like directors like Christopher Nolan or whatever that are like, no, we need the movie experience. So now all the companies that like actually make the money and like front the money for this are basically testing this. And I think Microsoft saw that everything is digital. A lot of people are buying digital, Game Pass, digital, everything, and they're just kind of like, why do we need these stores now? Like, what's the point?
Are we ever going to go out in public again?
Nope.
Pretty much not. We're going to turn into
you know, this is kind of new.
I already look like Gollum.
Scenario because everything's digital, and we all know Nuke does not like.
I was going to say, for me, it's the biggest slap in the face because I really enjoyed going to the Microsoft store here. And we only have one in the West Edmonton Mall, one of the biggest, most traffic malls in North America. It was an amazing store. It was always a great experience when you walked in. You got to see all the new products. You got to see the new Surface Books. They had, like I said, the HoloLens. And it was last year, as a matter of fact, it was the first time it really was an eye-opener for me. Not completely surprising because I walked in just last fall, just before the Christmas season, and something dawned on me that had never been in the Microsoft store, and that was they had all of the physical games completely pulled off their shelf, and what was there were just the cards like you'd see at the Best Buy. So you still buy a game at the store, but they had no physical games, just you could go buy digital copies, right? So right off the bat, I was just kind of like, well, that's fantastic. Now I got really like less reasons to come into this store, and now, of course, kaboom. They're saying they're going to transfer a couple of stores. I wouldn't be surprised if this one actually stays open, but it could become an experience store. So it's just for people to go in and maybe try out some new products. That way they have to keep less staff on hand. They can run it with minimal people, but at the same time, it's all about how much money to keep the lights on. And in a place like that mall, it is high traffic, but it's also very expensive rent there. So
I should have just started this topic out like this, Noob. I should have just said, business still works like it did, kind of, and stuff needs to make money. Like, yeah, D-Bat, see what you did. We're still, Microsoft, okay, we got to move forward. Donnie, everyone in the super chat, by the way, shout out to you guys. Sorry, I couldn't get them all for this section here of the topics, but Donnie does say he used to be a Microsoft Store employee, and yeah, they were the face of Microsoft for Surface, Xbox, etc.
Really were.
I don't know. I don't think he said. And we've also got Net Crusher Gaming became a channel member. Shout out to you, buddies. We appreciate it. Let me go ahead and move forward because that was something D wanted to try to convince you guys to riot about, Microsoft stores not being open. So Halo Infinite. Let's cover this real quick because this is actually really cool. If you guys remember, we were talking about Infinite for a while, Halo 6, whatever. After Halo Wars 2, we had come back and started talking about the next real Halo game. And something that I'd always said, which is common sense, I feel like they were, obviously put Aatrox in Halo 2 for a reason, Halo Wars 2 for a reason, but the Banished should be one of the primary focuses of the game. I don't know if Cortana's going to be the primary focus, but I would like them to move her back and bring the Flood back in. The Ring, we did have, what was it, guys? Hidden Xperia, the Halo YouTuber. He was telling us about how the Ring in the Halo Infinite trailer is actually the Ring the Flood come back on or some crap. So, I mean, just the Blood, the Banished, which are really just the Brutes faction from Halo Wars 2, one of the best Halo stories there are, versus Master Chief. And this looks very interesting because there was a teaser, Colt Eastwood, a Banished Halo Infinite teaser. And we're going to see this game this month.
Master Chief, not good.
All right.
I'm better. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was like it was a radio transmission of Master Chief bad, Aatrox good.
Master Chief suck a dick. All right. So what did you think?
Yeah, and man, I'll tell you what. If that thing was on Instagram, it would have killed any PlayStation Instagram likes. The thing went huge. Not
Why did it go so big? And how come? You know, that means
I don't know. Everyone thinks Halo's dead, but Halo is a massive franchise, and it better be super good because a lot of people are waiting to enjoy it this year. So, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's a good thing because I want to go away from the lock story and the the diadact thing. I know that the hardcore Halo fans like all that stuff. That's kind of where they lost me in the Halo franchise.
The what? The
diadact.
The die crack.
I don't know, the guy that looks like a metal demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy at the end of Halo 4 and 5. I don't know.
The guy, Toxic
I
Avenger. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. When they took the brutes out of the later Halo games, I think it was after 3, the brutes never returned, right? They were never in 4, and they were only in ODST. The brutes were like, I don't know, they're one of the best parts about the game.
But the brutes were in 3 and 2.
Yes, but they never came back for Halo 4, and they weren't in Halo 5, and they're just so fun to fight in the game. And even Halo 4, they kind of like removed the elites from most of the campaign of Halo 4. And replaced them with Prometheans. They were your big.
Well, tell me about Halo Infinite, Cole. I don't give a fuck about those games.
I like a supposed insider that's like a YouTuber that has a large channel said that there's going to be something amazing that God of War has that no other game has.
Savage.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know. I got to explain to the chat because like a lot of these guys watch the show and they pass the fuck out, right? Like,
was this last week?
It was like a week or two ago when I mentioned that it would have something in common with God of War, right? And they figured it out pretty quick. So basically, there was like several articles written on this Halo Infinite. And what I said there, I'm not even going to repeat it because I didn't even fucking really say it the first time, but they knew what I was talking about. So again, Halo Infinite's looking to do some really cool things, and we just keep hearing about how gorgeous this game is. Like, Horizon's great looking, but man, people are really underestimating Halo Infinite.
Well, how's Halo Infinite going to look any good if there's an Xbox Lockhart?
I don't know. It's held back by the Ouya as well.
Yeah, that's another big topic I'm sure we have tonight. Yeah, all about holding back the Xbox.
I want that same energy from the Energon cubes.
Well, let me talk about this game for a second because I'm actually looking forward to it because like me and Dealer, I don't know who else has played Halo Wars 2 here, but the story on that is like really good. Aatrox has an amazing like kind of origin story. Like if you guys don't know who he is, the Banished are like this group or squadron that the Covenant used all the time to basically attack like the front lines, and they just got slaughtered every time. But like one guy,
only one that would survive,
and he was the only one that survived like multiple times. He came back, and then finally after like the last one where he came back by himself, he went up against the Covenant.
Hang on, Zach, you missed a key point. Is the reason they separated from the Covenant, at least from what I remember, is that maybe you did say this. I tuned your ass out. They sent out the brutes, the Covenant did, to on suicide missions to try to kill them off. I mean, I do believe, if I remember correctly, and Aatrox is the only one that would come back every time. All of his brothers around him dying and stuff. So also, we gotta give a shout out to 2,000 people watching us live, guys. Hit that like button, share it out. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it quite a bit. And I gotta give a shout out real quick to Run Amok, who says they need to bring back Unreal Championship. Yes, perhaps they do. Mike K as well says RDX is the best podcast. Thank you so much, sir, and the others who super chatted. But Zalker, I mean, it is a pretty intricate story, and it's kind of dark when you see Spartans getting their shoulders broken with just a bare hand. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Well, Aatrox is just killing like Master Chief or people like the Spartans for like fucking fun. Like he's just a savage, dude. Like it's just the way he is super powerful. Everything about the story and his origin, actually, if you guys want to like actually get the most out of Halo Infinite, play Halo Wars 2. Go through that story. Don't rob yourself of that. I know it's an RTS and some people don't like that, but it's a really goddamn good game. Check it out and get into that story because it's gonna like highlight Halo Infinite even more for you. It's gonna get you even more hype because it did for me. Because that's like when I was playing that game, I remember just going like, man, this story is really cool. This character is really cool. You actually care what he's doing. Like, at least for me, from my perspective, like, yeah, I'm gonna see him go against Master Chief, and I love Master Chief, but man, I would like to see him whoop Master Chief's ass. I don't care. Like, he looks savage. He's a cool looking character. I think they can do a lot with the like first person shooter, like what they can do with like how you fight him or fight like the Banished. Like, I don't know, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I think the story is actually there. I think the history is there, unlike Locke. And I don't know. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be an actual pretty damn good Halo game.
I know how you beat Atriox. You got to throw a pile of bananas at him.
Why?
Noof. Crickets.
What?
Dealer clips the mic.
Hey, chat, I'm sorry about Noof's horrible joke just now. I just want to apologize on behalf of Canada and D-Badge.
Oh, man. Noof just died over there.
No, everybody give Noof a thumbs up in the chat. But seriously, Zalker's right. Atriox is a surprisingly fleshed out character. There is an expansion to Halo Wars 2. And I promise we'll get the fuck off this topic sooner or later. But there's an expansion to that game where the Flood do come back, and you get these full quality cinematic cutscenes from the Blur studio, and they're phenomenal. They look amazing. It's hard not to be immersed when stuff, even though it's not running in real time, looks so fucking amazing. But again, I want to see Halo Infinite ramp up animation quality and stuff. I was talking to Zach on the phone about this a day or two ago. When you see the Flood coming at you out of the dark, these things need to look like they're composed of a billion organisms, you know, like they need to look creepy in the way that they move and twitch, and it needs to be jarring, and they need to have an element of fright to them, I would say, like the first Halo did when you first encountered them.
Oh yeah, that music, man, that music that came up when that happened, and you're just running around like a dumbass that doesn't know what's happening. Those little things
little
jumping
ball
at
things.
your face. Yeah, they're jumping at your face. You're just like shitting yourself. They do need that, man. I wholeheartedly agree that they need new animations with it. And I want to see how good the animations are with the Flood, like you were saying, how they twitch and all that. But I want them to be disgusting too, because that's kind of what they are, right? They're disgusting.
They're just like over there eating like beets or something, pickled beets.
No, like they just like kind of like how Last of Us 2 makes the infected, like they're disgusting looking. Like you look at them and you're like, ugh. Like that's what I'm talking about.
You
need
like
the
fidelity
like
of the graphics to be off.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly the fidelity of the graphics. Like when's the last time we had the Flood?
Kinda
I just
like
want
Grounded,
it to look next
right?
gen.
Like kind of like
No,
Grounded?
like bug snacks. I want googly eyes on them.
I got wiener hands, bitch.
Oh,
Dealer that it's weenie hands.
Weenie hands. I'm sorry.
I'll say this real quick. If the Flood is in this game and Atriox kills fucking Locke at the beginning of the game, I'm sorry, it'll be the best Halo ever, man.
I never even thought of that. They're probably going to do that.
I think Locke dies on his way. He's on the interstate and he just spills his coffee on himself. I don't know, but Locke is not the greatest.
No, they
character.
Or Abby does it.
They could only be adding the Banished. Doesn't necessarily mean that Atriox is in. You just add the Banished and maybe the Flood show up at the end. You know? But
Why
then
you
who
gotta
knows,
fucking
like,
just ruin everything for?
because it definitely wasn't Atriox talking in that message.
So
No, it wasn't.
I like to pretend. How about that?
And I mean,
God,
it
I
would be
hate
great.
the Flood.
It would be great to see Atriox.
Did you
in
beat
the
Halo
game.
Wars 2?
Of course, I beat Halo Wars 2.
So, but like, if they bring in the Banished, isn't like Atriox like the head of state of the like Banished?
The leader, but I mean, I don't know if you watch like some of like the Halo YouTubers videos, like the lore, like in Xperia and like Halo Follower, like apparently he's not like with certain groups, and maybe one group is on the ring and he's somewhere else. Like I think he's on the Ark, right? Currently, at least when Halo Wars 2 ended.
Yeah, he's on the he occupied the Ark, right?
Yeah, he's on the Ark, but I mean, obviously this game takes place on Halo Ring Zeta. So like, how did Atriox get to Halo Ring Zeta? I mean, I don't know. That obviously all be explained in the game.
I have a quick question. When I was when I heard it the first time, I was like, okay, this is him just because he's saying we're the Banished. But then when I went back and listened to the footage from Halo Wars, the voice is clearly different. I'm thinking maybe they just altered the voice for it. Like, how could they mention the Banished and not have him in the game?
Because the Banished are badass. That's why.
No,
I mean, the
he
Banished
is their
are basically-
leader, Randall.
He's the leader, but they're going to be cool to fight because you're going to have brutes. They're also made up of like elites and the grunts. So it's basically just the Covenant, but just a badass version of them. I hope he's there because I would love to see a Halo or a Master Chief Atriox showdown. And that would, beg the question is like, well, who's Atriox working for? Is he working for Cortana or does he have his own agenda? Because I'm assuming Cortana is like still the major focal point because of what happened in the last game and what she's trying to accomplish.
Do you think we'll get to play the cutscene unlike Halo 5 where they
Hope
fight?
so.
Well, it's just, well, other people forget like there is like a lot of like hidden stuff in this, like in Halo Wars 2, and then in the expansion when the Banished are kind of going at the Flood, they notice that the Flood have like increased like tactical abilities. They're like intelligent, so there's like a grave mind in there that's forming them and leading them and commanding them. There's a lot of stuff that they have built within Halo Wars 2 and all throughout like Halo history that really can come together in Halo Infinite. And I think that's what excites me, is that it's very open-ended with a lot of the best parts. Like Banished, they're awesome, they're badass, like Rand said. Everybody loves the Flood. So again, they set up stuff for that too. So no matter which direction they go in, even if it's both, like I'm looking forward to it. Like it could be like a 3-front war with the Banished, the Flood, and Master Chief. You guys are going to get anything, man. Like I don't know, I'm down. I'm just down.
I'm down too. I'm also down to change the subject. Fable. Twitter account pops up, right?
Because you a bit.
Tweets are protected on this account. Ken Lobb follows the account. Perfect Dark account explained as well. Apparently that's a random fan. I'll let Colt have a crack at explaining this because he's not doing anything. And then I'll have Rand come in and correct everything Colt says.
Colt,
what's the story behind this Fable account and the Perfect Dark account for those that didn't know? Explain the situation and the end result.
I would rather start this off and hand it right over to Rand because as soon as this stuff came out, I got DM'd, people shared it with me, and I told like probably 10 people it's fake. It's probably not real. Probably just a fan account. None of this stuff really pans out. Who cares? It's just a Twitter account.
Fable ain't real.
And I took the L. And then I told Rand, I said, you see this crap? And he goes, yeah, it's real. And Rand go.
The Fable account's, I think the Fable account's pretty real.
The Fable one.
Yes. Why is Ken Lobb following this fucking thing?
Ken Lobb's following the Perfect
Dark thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's following the Fable one?
Nobody, as far as I know.
Nobody's following it.
Okay. Had a recovery email basically from Microsoft. I mean, you couldn't tell it yet all stars, but they all lined up. And I think if you like kind of take a guess, it's basically Fable Playground at Microsoft.com because they're the ones making it. I know some people think it's like Fable Reawakening, but whatever. I think that's the legit account. And the Perfect Dark one was only interesting because Lobb, who is a creative director at Xbox who worked on Perfect Dark back during the N64 era, like that's like a big like, whoa, what's he doing following this account that is locked? I'm like, that's pretty strange. And then Tom Warren tweeted it out. It got a lot of traction. People were like, oh, here, Microsoft's surprises for July are ruined, blah, 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 blah. Aaron Greenberg came out there to kind of diffuse the situation. And he said, well, these accounts, have been inactive for years, basically implying that they're their accounts, like they own them, because how else would you know if they're been inactive for years? And then he said it's common practice for them to, secure, social handles for their IPs. So you're under the impression of like, okay, they're their accounts, but not being used. And then the guy who actually has the Perfect Dark account's like, hey guys, I have this account. And it's like, okay, so what's going on? So why did Aaron say that stuff? Did he not look into all this like really deeply and see, is that the Perfect Dark account? Or is he was just kind of maybe like image controlling the fact that the Fable one was found? I don't know. Like,
or he accidentally told on himself a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe hindsight's 2020. Probably shouldn't have said anything. Realistically,
yeah. I mean, didn't we already know? Like, only fucking complete morons thought Fable wasn't real. Pretty much this whole time. I don't understand why. Because I mean, there are literally lead programmers from the engines that had worked on the previous Fables that are saying they know people are working on. I did a whole video like with 5 or 6 sources that are all of them developers, technical engineers. Yeah, they're making Fable.
The Perfect Dark one, I'm not sure on. I'm not sure a Perfect Dark game exists. I'm not sure the initiative's making it. I've heard conflicting things about the game. I'm 100% positive about Fable. Perfect Dark, I'm a little bit more. Could be true. Maybe it has elements of Perfect Dark, but isn't actually Perfect Dark. Or maybe it's set in the Perfect Dark universe, but isn't actually like starring Joanna Dark.
Sounds like you say perfect dark
is like how I said Anaconda.
I think no, it's just funny how you say it. I think priority number one with Aaron Greenberg when he said something was we need to make sure that these Fable or these other games are a total surprise. We don't want people expecting to hear about Fable or another type of game and then say, yeah, I knew it. Like they really want everyone to be like, what? This game was coming, but what they don't realize is those of us who are in tune, like we've known about Fable for a year and a half or longer. We've been expecting different games.
It's not even Fable that will be surprised. I think it's the way the game looks that will surprise people.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, but there are people who think it does not exist. Lockhart's not real, and Santa Claus is just a white-bearded man up in the North Pole.
I like turtles.
Chicken Chaser is back.
Hey, Army veteran, by the way. Shout out to you, buddy. I mean, honestly, if you want, I mean, you'll get a lot of 120 FPS games, I think, on Series X, more than what people think. How many are 4K and 120? I don't know. Honestly, if you got the cash to burn, upgrade. But if not, don't worry about it. The biggest leap with the next gen systems is going to be the visual fidelity and the frame rate. And you don't, 120 is, I probably won't even use that mode, honestly. And I got a C9, so just don't stress over it, buddy. If you're happy with your TV, just focus on getting the best TV you can without necessarily worrying about 120 unless you're like, I want to future-proof. That's how I damage controlled it. So, yeah. I mean, the Fable stuff, I mean, again, I feel pretty clear-cut on all that stuff. I'm very excited to see what they're going to bring to the table. Perfect Dark, I mean, Rand, I'd always said that, hey, if you're gonna put initiative on something, which we will see their project this year, then you might as well just, if you're gonna completely change Perfect Dark and reboot everything, just call it something else. But we had a discussion about that. I don't really care either way. I just want it to be good. I guess we'll see what they're doing.
You gotta read that Kid Smooth super chat. I like that one. Best spot. Shout out to Kid Smooth.
He said the guy with the Perfect Dark account is a bum. Why make one?
That's funny. Kid Smooth talking shit in the chat. The guy with the Perfect Dark account is a bum. Why make one?
Kid Smooth confirmed. Now we know it's Kid Smooth who made the account.
Kid Smooth's a fraud. He says get a monitor. No, don't listen to Kid Smooth. Get an OLED. All right. Get some.
You don't need no monitor. You get that 4K OLED and you get 120 frames and 60. Like who? Why would you want to get a monitor?
Sitting over there next to the little. I don't know. Just
have that crystal clear 24-inch display.
I don't
8-inch bezel.
We're talking shit, kid. Shout out to Kid Smooth.
I already got a squint enough as it is when I go to the bathroom. I don't need a monitor.
Yeah.
As a TV enthusiast, I never got it how guys are. Listen, I got a computer, so of course I got to play the monitor sometimes. But playing on my OLED is a far superior experience. And these TVs have such a low input lag.
Visuals, right?
And the refresh rate, and even OLED. OLED has the quickest pixel response you're gonna get. Period. So blur-free image. So like, to hell with that argument about TV computer monitors being better than TVs. No fucking way.
Well, I would say, like, hey, if you're in the monitor for input lag and latency and 1 millisecond response while you're doing it on a controller that has milliseconds and milliseconds of latency, if you're gonna go that hard and game on a monitor for that one reason, even though OLED's at 11 milliseconds now and other TVs are doing great, then you better be using the lowest latency inputs you can on top of that, or what's the damn point?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm done.
No, I was gonna say the only excuse to play on a monitor with lower input lag is if you do this professionally, you're in some type of league, and every millisecond counts to you. Then that's understandable. Otherwise, for
like everyone on Twitter,
for 98% of gamers, it's a non-issue. Honestly.
Hey, Gizmo says it's 27 inches or 3 Fonzarellis in height.
Oh.
Yeah, shout out to Gizmo. We also got 2,300 people watching live, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. Show a buddy or two. We'd really appreciate it. And we've got a ton of great discussion approaching as well. All the chat guys, all the channel members. I see all you guys. Shinsaius is happy to see a crossover between RDX, Xbox 2, and of course Gaming After Dark with Noof Nukem. We have a nice show, guys. Filmic is trash.
That's Jez's hashtag now, and he talks about how he wants all games to be 30 frames.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw a rocket, Jez.
Listen, you gotta give him shit when he comes on RDX.
I'm going to, man. We're gonna have him on next week, I think. So
he's not dying right now. He has a acute food poisoning. He's been sick for like 9 days.
I told him to stop licking the raw chicken and stuff. He was sending me pictures. I don't know, man. He didn't listen. Now he's paying the price, unfortunately. But we'll have Jez Corden over.
Does he throw up at 30 frames per second?
He does. He does throw up at 30 frames per second. We'll have one on the show next week, though. But let's go ahead and move forward here. The Fable thing, yeah, that's coming. Perfect Dark, we'll see. There's a lot of smoke there. We also something happened behind the scenes that's kind of curious as well on that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Head of Xbox Live, I wanted to talk about this real quick. Head of Xbox Live leaves. D-Bash, did you know that? Or you haven't been on Xbox Live this month, have you?
On the PC. No. No, yeah, I heard about this. I don't know. Like some departures, you worry about the state of the department when they leave. Xbox Live, I'm not worried about it.
You're like, it's already fucked. I mean, shit.
It's just okay. We've had a few outages, I would say, in the last 6 months more than normal, but for the most part, it's a very reliable service. So I don't know. It's almost like plug and play for the person that's gonna take over that position. So I don't really think it's a big deal.
KY Bob, 5 points for you and a piece of French toast. He says Microsoft needs to reboot MechAssault. Yes, they absolutely do, and that could be a possibility actually. So stay tuned. MechAssault. That's the game that convinced me to get an original Xbox Zauker. Have you played MechAssault, the original one?
Yeah, back in the day. I can care. I don't know. MechAssault's cool and all, but I want something different.
What are you eating, Zauker?
Popcorn.
Is that good? Some good popcorn.
Hella good.
All right.
Yeah, man, I just got off of work. I don't want to hear your shit.
Yeah, MechAssault game done like Titanfall. I'd be sold on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, like I actually enjoyed Titanfall more than MechAssault. Like Titanfall was freaking awesome. Like I don't know, MechAssault's like it's cool, but it's not something that I think like I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I can't wait to get that in my. I don't know.
Hey, you know what?
You're down on it, but
the gameplay was solid back in the day. And just on the new generation consoles, all the detail that could be in that game,
customization, like some squad stuff going on.
So the MechAssault was really the reason why you bought an Xbox original, not Halo?
I looked up at that little piece of shit TV at Walmart and was like, what the fuck is that? And, you know, start shooting stuff and buildings were crumbling and you just didn't see that on. You didn't see it on the PS2.
You were 3 years old. Of course, you were enamored by it,
motherfucker. And Colt's over there, fucking working in the goddamn banana aisle. So I mean,
working really hard too.
You mean the frozen yogurt section with Mike Ybarra?
Oh, okay. Well, Zachary, nice to know you. So yeah, I mean, again, MechAssault. I guess we'll see. But I am a fan of the franchise. Definitely a fan of the franchise. Let me go ahead and remember what the hell I was talking about before I made a stupid fucking joke. Head of Xbox Live leaves. Cool. Phil Spencer talks at Games Lab. We can go over this quickly because this actually happened. And last show we were talking about, hey, he's going to be speaking there. What's he going to say? Turns out he's saying, well, we'd rather hear our games than our console. And he's also saying that after Sony's game reveal, after they revealed their games and they showed their system, that he feels even better than he did before, which is not the first time he said this. And he's confident that the performance delta in the box will definitely come through, and especially on things like ray tracing, etc. So yeah, he knows there's a power gap. He knows that Sony it's an oddity of a situation, Randall. The PS5, none of us expected them to say, hey, we've got 100+ million PS4s out there. We have the digital market. We've got the developers on our side. We have the popular brand. And then they come out and nothing is backwards compatible day one except for maybe a few hundred titles. And there's no real incentive to like not leave your games behind like we had been talking about. That's one of the big uphill battles, and they kind of fucked it up. And then the console is like the biggest one of like almost of all time. Like it's huge, right? And
it's a big bitch.
Yeah, like
it's big.
Like what the?
I don't know how Xbox is able to build a.
What's going on?
Xbox build a better or a more powerful system, a smaller size. How'd that work?
Well,
engineering.
It's because
I mean I don't know. Like I know
Phil
Phil says like, hey, I feel really good after seeing that, but I mean, how could you? Sony showed Bug Snacks, dude. It's over.
Googly eyes.
Happy 50th birthday to Greg Egg, E3 Egg. He's 50 today, guys.
Happy birthday.
Give him a emoji thing with the confetti or something. Super awesome. Yeah, he super chatted that. We missed it. 50 years old.
Shout out to you,
Holy
buddy.
smokes, I'll be there in 18 years.
You lived long enough to see a pandemic and Bug Snacks.
Cole will be there next week.
Yeah. I'm
out to Greg.
76. Wait, Rand, you were saying something really good before Zucker told everyone else.
Hang on, Eric V, by the way.
Eric
V, let me get this real quick. Randall, hold your horse. You're riding a tiny ass.
Hurry up, dealer.
He says, I'm getting a monitor because I already have burn in on my OLED. What the hell are you doing with that OLED, son?
porn.
He said after 2 years.
Oh,
Shout out to Eric V.
shout out to
and his vigorous viewing of certain sensual
Pornhub
topics.
logo burned in on the corner of his screen. Oh, I gotta say a prayer.
The batch is he's dying in the background.
What were you saying, Rand?
what were you saying, Rand?
I'm gonna say something, and then you're just gonna interrupt me, Cold Eastwood.
Hey,
Go
Randall,
ahead, buddy.
what were you saying?
Okay, well, I was just saying. I mean, how can Phil be so confident in what they're gonna show? They don't got bug snacks.
Oh gosh, that's not what you were
They
saying.
don't got bug snacks. They don't got the.
bitch.
That's instant win right there. 10 out of 10, best show ever.
The-
I mean, I think what Phil said was important because he said not only what they're going to show, but how they're going to show up, implying that you're going to
flying on
see probably
jetpacks?
gameplay. You're going to see like a really long look at Halo Infinite and what the game looks like, stuff like that. And I mean, he talks about like the advantages of which you've talked as dealer for the less technically inclined about like this generation. Like it's a lot about like immersion and getting rid of the barriers in between the players and the console. So you have like getting rid of the latency of the controller to the system, getting like higher frame rates. So the feel of games is better. And people were trying to damage control that when he was like, maybe the graphics won't be like the jump that you would want, at least in the beginning.
That's so funny,
you
Rand.
explain that.
You had to double back down on that because we literally, the podcast like a show or two ago with Rise Son of Rome is the footage. We literally just been talking about this and we're like, look, there's only one HDD jump, right? Like you can only go from less than 720p oftentimes. I think Red Dead ran at like 540p on the damn 360, right? Like you can only go from that to 1080p and all this extra RAM one time, really. And that was a massive jump, like going from something like you would see like Saints Row 4 to Rise Son of Rome. Holy shit. Now, these other games are going to look phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but if you're used to an Xbox One X and stuff like that, you're gonna get your mind blown when you see all the physics and the destruction, the particles and frame rates and all that stuff. And of course, ray tracing, it really is a very high-end experience, but the fact of the matter is the Xbox One X is much like a PC experience on 60 FPS titles, and the ones that are locked at 30, they still look absolutely gorgeous. Like your eyes are not bursting into flames right now, Thor, right?
I mean, I would imagine for the people who are still playing on the OG Xbox One, they're going to have their minds blown when they play the Series X. That jump going to the VCR, new
From
system
480i to 4K, shit.
Jesus. I mean, Phil's been saying the same thing for a while now, so it's just, it's just more kind of like, and which is good because I'm very the opposite of Jez Corden. Like, I want frames. I want 60 frames in games. Give me the 120 frames. Like, give me all that stuff. And, it's like I guess you could say, well, of course, what do you expect him to say? Of course, he's going to say he's going to feel confident of the Sony show. Do you expect him to say, oh, I'm really scared. Like, I don't even want to do the show anymore. So I understand.
Believe in this time, Randall, especially after Bambi headbutting
but
Xbox.
It was different, Rand. It felt
last year.
It felt really different. His interview felt really different, bro.
I mean, hell, you like the other day on Dealer's favorite website, Reset Era, Jason Ronald had a great interview about like how the velocity architecture, the SSD stuff, right? People were like, well, of course he would say that about the Series X. At the same time, praising Cerny and saying that he's a god. Well, it's like, well, wait a minute. So you're not going to say that about Cerny?
That's why nobody gives a fuck about Reset Era or takes it slightly seriously.
Yeah. Here's the other thing about visuals. Here's the other thing about visuals. Like, if you were playing a lot of games in this past couple of years, like you played Red Dead 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Jedi Fallen Order, Doom Eternal, like these games look amazing. Go and look at the exclusives, like look at how Death Stranding looks, The Last of Us Part 2 looks, and Gears 5. Like these games are absolutely gorgeous, and you wonder, man, how can it get any better? And you know it will, but when Phil says like you're not going to see this massive leaps, because Phil's been around, we've all seen what developers are capable of and what they can make. And you can't expect just because it's a new console generation that developers are going to get next level with this photorealism. Because I've been playing The Last of Us 2. Game looks absolutely amazing. And you just have to wonder, like, how much further can they take it within a budget to make a AAA game in 5 years' time? Like, are you going to see that, in the next couple of years or 3 years? Or are you going to see it toward the end of the generation? But games have always looked absolutely incredible. I even showed in one of my videos a short video clip of Gears of War 3, which is enhanced to 4K, and it's still the 2011. Is that, I think, when it came out? It's still the 2011 visuals, just up-resed on the Xbox One X. I'm like, this is what game developers were doing almost 10 years ago. And there's only so much that you can bring it in, like the way that they want to make their game look, whether it looks absolutely real, true to life, or it looks like something that is like out of this universe. Like, that's just up to the developers. And we've been asking Xbox to make, we've been asking Xbox to not make bug snacks, to make something bigger and better and more realistic. And that's when you said, like, I think people may not be surprised that it's Fable, but they may be surprised by how it looks and how it feels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, PS5 is extremely capable. I've always said that. And you got bug snacks running on the bitch with wiener hands. All right, so
the next games,
it's all about art design and direction.
The next games are going to look sharper. They're going to run faster. They're going to have more stuff on screen. They're going to have better AI. They're going to have better lighting, better reflective technologies. These are the little things. The average gamer doesn't really, kind of think about a lot of that stuff because they just take it all for granted. But until, someone like Digital Foundry kind of breaks it all down for you, you really see some of this magnificent tech in action. That's when you kind of go, oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? You almost, just at this point in time, we just don't, we take a lot of these games for granted, I think. So I'm definitely expecting a nice spike with the Series X and even the PlayStation 5. And like I said, I think when you get down, and I think the way you're really going to realize is when you set up your new console and you start playing those games, and then you go back to say your Xbox One S or you go back to your PS4, then you go, oh wow, like there was a big jump here.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen right out the gate. Like, I think the way Colt said it. I think that we're gonna get some cool stuff. But if you look at like a lot of the third-party developers and you look at everybody making games right now, they're holding off on what they're showing. Like, there really are. I feel like EA has said that they're waiting for their Battlefield to really take advantage of the next-gen hardware. Ubisoft has even said that it's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it could be, but. I just think that a lot of games are waiting.
Like, they were holding, like,
exactly, they were holding off last year.
Fucking lost in the woods somewhere. What the fuck?
Last year, especially, but like with this, like, kind of like bringing it full circle with like the interview with Phil, I just like it just felt different. Like the interview, like I was listening to it at work when I was working. I was just sitting there with like headphones on, listening to it, and he just like seemed like he was like, oh, usually in interviews he's very nice, cordial, and then this time he was like, yeah, I said Jim Ryan had a good show, but then fuck that guy. Here's what we think. Like, this is what we're gonna do. Like, it was just weird. Like, he just felt very confident. Like, he knows what they're going to show. And I think, like, they're coming to actually compete with, like, the games. And that's what I think. I know it's funny when he said, we want you to hear our games instead of our console. That's funny and shit. But I think he meant, like, we want you to buy this console because of the games. And that's what we're going to hang our hats off of. Like, right? That's what they're going to put forward for us to look at it and be like, wow, I want to play that game on my Xbox Series X. Like, yeah, people are like, "Oh, Halo."
Visual discrepancy because
exactly, and that's what Halo
Xbox One S too.
And that's why I think Halo and like everybody sees Horizon 2. It looks stunning, and we're all gonna freaking enjoy it and play it. But I think that, and we just played Last of Us 2, or we're playing it, and it's great. It looks amazing. But I think that's what Xbox is going to show. I think Fable's going to look stunning. I think Halo's going to look stunning. I think whatever new IP or whatever new games they're making is going to look stunning. I think they're really going to show out, and if they don't, we'll be the fucking first ones to call them out. That's all I'm saying.
Fable's gonna look like Sea of Thieves, bro.
Shout out to
I'm
Nicholas.
Fucking down, son.
Shout out to Nicholas in the Super Chat. Says, take my money. Much love. Colt, give us a scream if we hit 3,000. Hashtag bug snacks. Shout out to you, buddy.
I've seen the word bug snacks in the chat like 700 times tonight.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And then we got Spitfire. He says, Xbox Live event. We finally see what the initiative are working on. Yes, I do believe we will, and at some point this year at least. Yeah, I mean, they need to show something, man. I definitely hear you. And the reason I say that is because we kind of have an idea of what their teams build. So Rare's working on Everwild. Motorsport team is working on the next Forza Motorsport, which you will see. Playground are working on Horizon and, of course, Fable. Then you've got the Coalition, which are working on the next Gears of War, or whatever the fuck they're doing, and they had Splash Damage do Gears Tactics. And then you've got Ninja Theory, which we've already seen that game. Looks phenomenal, but unfortunately was running at 24 fucking frames per second. And then, say what, Randall?
It's Filmic.
It's Filmic.
Jez Gordon.
It's Filmic as fuck. Jez Gordon! And then, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We kind of know what they're building. And then you've got the Initiative, who a little bit more mysterious. They got a ton of Naughty Dog employment over there. They got a work creative director, the D-Batch. They've got all kinds of phenomenal people that
most talented.
The most talented.
I believe that Initiative is working on 2 projects, one that'll come out first and one we'll hear about another year.
Well, it's a small team, so good luck.
Yeah, but I would imagine.
I mean, they're growing, but you know what I'm saying.
Do you think they're working on a game in the vein of Horizon Zero Dawn? Because there was some when they did some of the initial hiring, there was some of that in the packages or something like that.
They've hired people from the Tomb Raider and Call of Duty and Red Dead and Last of Us and Uncharted. Like, it's crazy.
Man. Yeah, they've hired from everywhere, not just open world games like Naughty Dog, like he was saying, open world developers, combat developers for like just everything. Like, they have such a smorgasbord of like what you're gonna actually see talent wise that nobody knows what they're making. And you know, it's a rumor that it's gonna be Perfect Dark, but now the rumor is that it's not Perfect Dark. So I don't know, man. Who knows?
That's like the mystery. Something new.
I would like to see something new too. I want to see a new IP.
We know State of Decay 3 is coming.
Kid86 said Playground not working on Fable. Xbox already confirmed they're not.
They know how to spell though, so that's great. So basically, State of Decay 3 is coming as well at some point, but I think they need to change that art direction from that game. They need to make that game. I don't know, man. I don't even know what the fuck they can do with it right now. It needs to look a lot better than it does, honestly. Days Gone looked amazing, and I ended up enjoying that game more than State of Decay somehow. So at least State of Decay 2. So again, but graphics matter, and there's a reason you're buying a next gen console day one. It's because there's a reason you're buying a 3080, right? There's a reason you bought a 2080. It's because the graphics fucking matter. And that's why they release these systems to kind of show you new technical boundaries and get rid of that and show you what this stuff can do. And I think you'll see that. Again, we're hearing really good stuff about Halo as well. So, again, let me go ahead and move forward. Xbox Lockhart keeps leaking over and over and over and over. It's almost like we've been covering this for 2 years. 4 teraflops. And this time it's on Xbox Live servers. And then there's developer.
Stop at 4 teraflops and squash the. I can't believe that thing is less powerful than the Xbox One X.
I've already explained it 5
times. Oh my gosh, I hear it over and over.
Yeah, it's like I know who really watches the videos and shows because I've explained this how it works in such immaculate fucking precision detail that anyone could understand it. And
I mean, I say it like 2 or 3 times in a video, and I get down in the comments. Some guy's like, "I can't believe it's less powerful than the One X." Like the CPU is almost like on just looking at the straight number. I even had them on screen. The CPU is almost 2 times faster.
The CPU is over 4 times faster.
Even the GPU is better in it though. Like everyone keeps forgetting, this is RDNA 2. It's not the old Polaris that's in the Xbox One X. The graphics on the Series S or the Lockhart, whatever we want to call it.
Good video today, by the way, D-Batch.
Thank you.
Go check it out, guys.
It's gonna be 4K. It's gonna do 4K games on the current generation. So if the Xbox One X is doing 4K on that particular game that was designed for the Xbox One devices, the earlier generation, it's gonna run at 4K on the Series S. Now the next generation games, they're obviously gonna be more demanding, ray tracing, better textures, blah blah blah. It's going to require more power. And for those games, it's going to run at 1080p 60. We're hearing 1440p 30. And I would assume some games, perhaps 1440p 60.
Yeah, checkerboarding and stuff, too, is really...
And for the price that they're offering, it's amazing. Now, the CPU, I think, is the major thing here. Now, if the CPU was a lot weaker than the Series S, Series X, then I could say, okay, there's going to be a few issues here and there that they're going to have to work around. But the CPU is reportedly the same as the Series X. It's clocked at the same speed.
And why is that, D-Batch?
So it's not a bottleneck. So
it's a little something called game design.
Hold it down. Now, the GPU obviously is not going to be as capable, but they fucking going to scale it down. It's going to do 1080p, 1440p, and it's not going to hold back the Series X. It's stupidity. And I saw a tweet today saying that, you know what, PC's been, I think it was Jez that said it, that PC's been doing this for quite some time. They've been developing for thousands of different configurations, and they get it right. This is 2 configurations. So come on.
D, we've been saying this for fucking years. And I saw it's kind of crazy because we just watch the rest of the fucking gaming space catch up to what we're talking about on this shit. It's just funny to me. Randolph Thor obviously is the man who predicted that Lockhart would have 27 teraflops, and we'll see if that's true.
That's right.
But I mean, Rand, you understand? I mean, you understand what's going on with this box, and I just don't understand how somebody can be like, why the fuck would you release a Lockhart? That's such a dumb idea. Sit down with their Xbox One S and play Slime Rancher.
I mean, it is on Microsoft to come out and properly message the console. I mean, we can only do so much when we talk about the system, right? Like, they're the ones that need to come out and explain what it is. But I mean, it's a system designed for people that don't want to spend the money for the high-end product. I mean, everything in your life is tiered. I read this great quote to Colt last night when we were talking, but it was like, you got multi-tiered phones and refrigerators and cars. Like, people know how all that stuff works. And one of the things I always see, like Tom Warren kind of heard the pot yesterday about people concerned that Lockhart would suddenly hold back the gen, and people use like the medium as like this like point where like, oh well, the medium developers said that
it's on PC too, though. So their point.
It's on PC, but also like we couldn't put it on Xbox One. We needed the enhancements that next gen could provide.
But what were these people before their sources told them? Oh, it's just as quick as the Series X. That's the thing. Like, you got to be able to use your foresight and see stuff like this and talk about it.
But the point is, it's like, yes, like I get that the medium dev said, hey, we needed the SSD or whatever to have the two worlds like loading instantaneously, right? And it probably couldn't work on Xbox One. We've seen some games from last gen to this gen that had removed features, like Shadow of War, right? Shadow of Mordor didn't have the Nemesis feature, and Forza Horizon 2 was completely different, right? So I understand that, like the Xbox One couldn't do it, but Microsoft is going to mandate that if you make a game for the Xbox platform, it's got to support Xbox Series X and Xbox Lockhart. They're two next-gen consoles.
And they got the same double dev kit solution, right?
And Medium is going to run on Lockhart. So if the developer is saying that they couldn't put it on Xbox One because it would hold it back, but yet it's going to run on Lockhart, doesn't that say that Lockhart's not going to hold anything back? Because it's going to have the same CPU at the same clock speed. It's going to have... it's going to have a weaker GPU. It's going to have the same SSD, maybe not as much space because
these guys don't understand.
You don't necessarily need.
They don't understand the
speed.
GPU stuff is scalable.
And you don't need as much RAM because it's not designed to be a 4K box, so you only need like 7.5. Or they're going to put 10 in there, obviously to save costs. It's just going to be a system that basically just is a resolution scaler from Xbox Series X. The Series X is designed to do 4K 60. Lockhart's designed to do 1080p 60. That's it. I don't understand how it's that it's so complicated for some people to understand.
And a lot of the people that are going to be buying this are the people that have the VCR Xbox. Like, it's still going to be fucking mind-blowing to these people what they're getting with this Lockhart console. That's the way I see it. It fits that market. Not all of us that have Xbox One X's. They already know that people that got the Xbox One X are probably going to get the Series X. So like everybody else that hasn't gone over or has a PS4 Pro or just a PS4 or even an Xbox One, like they're going to get this Lockhart if they just want to not pay $500 or however much money it's going to be for a Series X, and they're going to be fine. And they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. And that's what's going to be, that's the difference. It doesn't matter. Like, it's for the people that don't want to do that put that money down.
And that's why Phil said they're not going to lose on power or price because there are multiple systems and blah, blah, blah. Same bullshit we've been talking about.
It's funny because there's people that buy DVDs over Blu-rays,
Well, Noof's not going to like Lockhart because it's not going to have a disc drive, which means it's digital. But, I mean, this has been Microsoft's plan since 2018. Dealer, we saw the documents. We've known this is exactly what Microsoft has been planning for years.
Documents?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it like.
It's like James Bond.
Like, whatever. Like, we've explained this more than enough. Like, now it's supposedly coming in August. It was supposed to come in June, according to like Eurogamer and was it The Verge or was it VentureBeat? They both said it was supposed to come, be revealed in June, but because of what was going on in the world and stuff, they kind of shelved it. And now it's going to happen in August. So you were mentioning like we're going to see the initiatives games this year, right? I think we will, but there's this chance that Microsoft holds another event in August because Sony's holding another event in August, and maybe they hold on the initiatives game if they want to showcase Lockhart and price and pre-orders and stuff like that. I'm just waiting for the system to get announced so Cole can save up to actually tweet out those screenshots he's been saving of people saying that it doesn't exist because it doesn't make business sense.
Oh my gosh!
Make
People are
any
like,
sense.
why would we push the innovation of technology forward and have a less powerful console? It's like, what are
It's
you
like the
talking about?
Xbox One, the Xbox
Well,
One S
nearly-
didn't make business sense, even though the all digital's the Black Friday winner.
Well, almost every single freaking product in the planet has a base model and a higher end model. Like, it's absolutely nuts. And someone's like, who's going to buy the Lockhart? Most everybody are going to buy the Lockhart. Like, we don't know the numbers, but we can assume maybe only 10% in 2017 and on bought an Xbox One X compared to an Xbox One S. I don't know. Maybe 25% bought the X. It doesn't matter. Microsoft's making a bunch of money selling the S model, and they're going to do it again.
They're not really. I mean, that's the thing, though. They're not really making much money on either model. That's why they don't give a fuck which one you buy. They just want you to buy the one you want, so you can buy the games you want.
The Lockhart is an easier point of entry into the ecosystem.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And if it's
that's
a $300
they don't give
price,
a fuck which one you buy. They just want you to buy one. And if you
don't have to buy the Lockhart. You can, if you want the most powerful, and you want to spend $1,200 on a TV, you can do that, and you have that option. But with the PlayStation, which they said all digital was the most ridiculous idea ever. Now it's probably the one most PlayStation hardcores are going for. They're going to go ahead and grab the digital.
I thought two
PS5.
SKUs was too confusing for people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I also think Lockhart's going to give Microsoft a lot more wiggle room to drop price than perhaps the Series X too.
You know what? In fact, well, I did a video. I don't want to give too much of it away, but I think both of these companies, I think they're both going to push digital heavy because they're going to make a lot more money selling an all-digital console because they don't have to deal with GameStop. They don't have to deal with fucking Walmart, Amazon. All the money's coming to them, and it's just higher profit for them. And I think overall, they could take a heavier loss on the digital consoles because you're going to have to fucking buy shit on it.
Yeah, if you buy the digital PS5 or Xbox, more than likely almost every single digital game you buy will be right there in the console store or on Xbox.com or PlayStation Network. Very few people will buy a digital card on Amazon and buy their games digital. That'll happen, but you're right. Sony knows that with the digital console that most of those game sales are going to be right within their ecosystem, right out of their store with the most profit possible. I mean, it's really a good thing.
Raptor DCU, he thinks there may be gameplay design decisions between the base Xbox version of Infinite and the Series X, and I wouldn't count on it. Again, like you have to go. You kind of have to go out of your way to say, well, we need a design. Now we're hearing it's extremely demanding, and the base consoles are not running it very well. But still, you kind of have to go out of your way for gameplay design aspect wise, not to find a solution at this point with what we think Halo Infinite is. In terms of like streaming things in and all this crap, we think it's definitely going to be just scale across the board. Visuals, however, are always, those are the things we always say can scale. If you do have too many things and gameplay design's fucked on, that's a bottleneck.
So here's an example, like a lot of guys hang their hat on Horizon Zero Dawn couldn't have flying machines in the game because a 5400 RPM hard drive couldn't make it possible. But fast forward to 2 years later or 1 year later, 1 year later, actually, Assassin's Creed Origins had that Falcon flying around, the Hawk flying around in the game. Like, I don't know where people get this, and I don't know. These seem to be very rare instances. They bring up the Nemesis system on Shadow of Mordor. It's a 2015 game that couldn't happen cross-gen. We're talking about totally different architecture. I think you're right that you really have to go out of your way to come up with a game mechanic like Rift Apart on Ratchet & Clank. That is something that couldn't be done on mechanical drive.
Well, yeah.
I'm
just saying, like, they're
there's
there. Like, the games exist. The developers, we've seen them, right? There's several next-gen only games that'll be here this year. But I'm just saying that in terms of Halo Infinite, I definitely think that game's built from the ground up to run across as many devices as possible.
Well, we're also seeing it from just third-party games. Like, if you look at Marvel's Avengers, which I think looks freaking awesome, you can already tell that game is going to benefit a lot on the new systems. Like, the frame rate's going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot smoother. I'm looking forward to the game, and I can't wait to play it on the new systems. I'm going to play it on the Xbox One X, but you can already see that there's already games coming out, like Dealer just said, like the Ascent, Medium, right? All these games, the developer said, like, yeah, we couldn't do this on the current gen hardware. And in Cole, where you were talking about with like the eagle or the falcon flying,
yeah, I couldn't remember
I couldn't
think of the word eagle when I was talking.
So I never knew this, but I saw like a comparison video on YouTube. If you play that game on the Xbox One X compared to the PS4 Pro, Odyssey especially, if you take the hawk or the eagle, whatever, there's a load screen on the PS4 Pro. I never had a load, like it literally blanks out. Yeah, it literally blanks out for 4 seconds, and then you go to your character when you get out of the eagle vision.
Holy
on
smokes,
Xbox One X, I never.
The camera goes right.
My 4 seconds.
The camera goes right up to the eagle on the Xbox.
Yeah, it does. And so I was watching that, and I was like, "What?" And I didn't realize that. I never knew that was even a thing because I played on the Xbox One X, where it just like went whoop right on your character, right? So like, there are differences, people.
And that's the difference. 20 more megs per second will do on a hard drive, and a little bit more RAM. Now you're going from 60 meg per second on a hard drive in the X to 2,400 uncompressed on the Series X. And again, SATA-driven SSDs aren't even close to that.
How much of the RAM can pick up that load? Because there's more RAM. There's a different RAM configuration between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So how much of a difference will it make up?
I mean, the RAM is faster as well. You got over 100 gigs more per second of memory bandwidth as well on top of everything else. Now, not to mention the velocity architecture and stuff. So that's what I was saying. Like, people are running these tests between these SSDs, and I'm like, well, the game isn't even built to leverage the Kraken architecture for PS5 or velocity architecture. So you're not getting that instant decompression block, compression block advantage that actually leverages the SSD with the 100 gigs of in-game assets instantly, right? It's like an engineer told me before we even knew what the box is called. It's really the magic is in the integration of the parts. This is literally without the velocity architecture, you lose like 40% of this box's advancement in terms of its overall streaming capability, I would say. Like, you lose a lot. And if you don't have that, then, you know, that's why your game has to be on the SSD, because they need to have access to all those in-game assets very quickly. And we didn't initially understand that. But yeah, things are just different now, you know? So how do we get back on SSDs? Holy fuck.
It always goes full circle. So.
Yeah, it's just, we're getting out.
That train's never late, bitch.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah,
it's so fast.
Lockhart definitely real. Again, I don't know how so many people could say, yeah, you guys said such a great track record, but Lockhart's not real. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, like, use common sense here, you know? So, also, real quick, Last of Us 2 sells 4 million in a few days. What was this, 4 days, Randall?
It was 3, but it could be 4. But it was like their fastest growing exclusive ever. Sold like Spider-Man and God of War and stuff.
5 days, but it's still amazing.
That's what a 7-year wait will do. Like, people have been really anticipating Last of Us. You know, let people wait 7 years. It drives up that demand for the product. And, you know, like, I know it's so weird because Last of Us 2, if you go online, it's like there's like a group of people that hate this game with every fiber of their being. And there's like another group of people that's like, it's the greatest game ever made. You know? Oh.
It's weird. No, sometimes I really love it or like it, and then sometimes I'm just not enjoying it, which is weird. Just depends on like what portion of the game I'm in.
Yeah. Second half of the game for me was it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Noof. Go ahead.
Second half of the game for me, the whole Abby part, and I guess because you basically spend part of the game pretty much
don't spoil
hating Abby. So I'll just leave it at that. Second half of the game kind of ruined it based on how the first half of the game played out. So yeah, but otherwise it's a stellar game and certainly a technical feat pulling that stuff off on the current gen hardware. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, a lot of my friends that were waiting for it are, they don't like go on the community or anything like that, but they are not happy with the game. And they've basically told me that they've are like, well, I wasted $60, and they just like they don't even want to finish it.
Jesus,
like they're just like, I don't care. There's nothing they can do to redeem this game for me. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, all right,
well, be a little bit less emotional and think about that.
Well, and I told them, well, no, they just don't care. They're just like, they're like, the gameplay's awesome, but
all right, well,
everything else.
Hey, don't everyone always say gameplay is king? Fuck.
I mean, some people.
This game is a waste of money. It's like, okay, well, fuck. You mean bug snacks? Shit.
Your friends also play Sea of Thieves all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Better than
So-
I'm
Borderlands.
just saying, if you're playing Sea of Thieves because the gameplay is awesome, and then
No, it's
maybe
not. It's not. No, I only have like a couple. Like, it's not those guys that play Sea of Thieves. These are like my buddies that play. Like, they have like a PS4. Like, they get the PS4 before they get the Xbox because they like the exclusives. So like, you know, they're just very like single player heavy. Like, they have a Switch and a PS4, and then they get the Xbox later because they don't play much multiplayer. And like those guys were like, "Have you played it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I beat it." And they're like, "Well, yeah, I didn't. Fuck the game." And I'm like, "Jesus."
I don't know. I don't like the main character because of the way the game goes, but I mean, it's got some really great. I don't know, the combat. That's just, I don't know why we're even talking about it like it's a review, but the combat like is really cool, and some of the way it loops through is good. But sometimes I just find like, oh man, this is just a tense, tough game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I wanted to play Bugsnax after just to relax.
It'd be interesting to see if any of this. I mean, it sold 4 million in 3 days. People tried boycotting the game, and obviously it didn't work. The whole "get woke, go broke" thing obviously blew up in their faces and all that stuff. It'd be interesting to see how, whenever Naughty Dog reveals their next game, if those same people that were hating on Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog are still hating on Naughty Dog, and if it affects the sales of whatever game they do next. Maybe it's a new IP. There's rumors that they're doing something sci-fi or whatever. That'll be interesting. Kind of like how the Last Jedi kind of.
But I think that's different.
Star Wars for people.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
Dealer Abby looks like she could give you some competition on the deadlift there.
That's a lie.
Harv Rob keeps writing over and over.
Hellboy.
The sales dropped 80% after they hit 4 million. That's because that's what everything does. It peaks, and that's
on the UK only.
Yeah, that's not representative of success or not success. Like, that's
physical sales in UK only. Yeah, it's like
Rand, I would
0.01% of all sales.
Yeah, Rand, I would say for the whole thing about like we'll see if like people boycott the next one. I don't think it'll be like that. I think that if they made a Last of Us 3 right after, like The Last Jedi came out and then they brought out another Star Wars, like the brand Star Wars was hurt, right? I don't know if The Last Jedi, or I'm sorry, The Last of Us is going to get hurt. So I don't know if the next game, like if it's a new game, people are not going to think, oh, wasn't The Last of Us 2, like didn't that annoy me? I think it's just going to be like Naughty Dog is Naughty Dog, and they're just going to buy it and enjoy that game if it's a new IP. I think it's very different when you're changing franchises, basically. That's what I
mean. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you on that. I'm just saying it'd be, like when you look at some of these YouTubers that literally did 30 videos about the leaks about Last of Us, and we're just thriving off the negativity that YouTube's algorithm will throw out there sometimes.
Everyone's a snowflake, but they're always triggered about everything.
Yeah, everybody's a snowflake except me, but I'm always triggered about these things. I mean, I agree with you, but I mean, like, there's I never seen such hate for a game, and like how a studio went from the pinnacle, because like you can make an argument like Naughty Dog was considered the best, to now there's a large group of people that utterly despise Naughty Dog and hate Neil Druckmann and everything to do with the studio. I don't think it'll affect it, but it'll definitely be interesting to see what their response is when they reveal their next game.
I think it's the same thing that happened with like we've seen hate with Battlefield 5. That one was huge. People build their goddamn channels off of that, and then they hate for Fallout 76. So like we've seen like where it's hate there, but I'm glad that this is something that a lot of people brought up too, that it sold 4 million, and those people that were hating basically were shouting at themselves. Nobody listened. Nobody cared what you had to say, and your negativity got thrown in your face, and the game did just fine. Now, if you play the game and you don't like it, you get newfound respect because at least you tried it, right? Yeah. But if you're just going to sit there and downvote it like a freaking idiot, then you get no respect.
I think it's pretty sad when a developer can't make the games that they want to make because of the outcry and backlash of a certain crowd of fans that get very vocal and pissy, like little kids that don't get their way. Like, oh my God, this game isn't playing the way I want it to. So maybe in the future, if they want to avoid that backlash, maybe here's a thing they could try. And I know this would be harder for development cycles, but perhaps at certain pinnacle points of the game, they actually have like one of those choice options where you go choice A and the story's going to play out this way, or you go choice B and it plays out this way. You know what I mean? Kind of like we saw with the Mass Effect games, depending on your choice of number 2, determine certain things in number 3, that sort of thing.
And they should have just gave us the option for certain things to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that way you kind of please both sides. That way,
that
you know.
takes so
But that's
much
hard.
work. Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Is there an option to do less flashbacks? Because that's something. That's one of the
Oh,
few things
man,
about the
that's
game I'm
very
not
good.
enjoying right now. Like I think it's a great game so far, but a lot of flashbacks, and I'm not interested in falling through. I don't know.
It takes me out of the moment over and over. Like about every hour, there's a flashback, and then I'm like, "What do you mean Seattle Day 2? I was on. Oh gosh." And I'm
not
like,
gonna
where
lie,
am
the
I?
flashbacks are the only reason why it kept making me go through the game. It's what I
Hmm.
enjoyed because of the characters involved.
Well, yeah, and the story's nice, but I guess it's kind of a pacing thing. It gets you away from the gloomy, like frightening and brutal part of the game, and kind of gets you back into flashback. Kind of tells backstory, and it's a little bit nicer. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
I just think people, we all do it a little bit. But like, if you don't like something, let's say you don't like Sea of Thieves, say your piece once and move on with your life. Like,
Right.
there are people
I'll
that
kill you.
hammer on and on and on everywhere anyone will listen to them about a game or a platform or a ecosystem or a service they don't like. It's like, nobody cares. Just because there's an internet, you don't have to give your opinion everywhere on something you've never experienced. Now, if you got burned on a game, if you spent $60 and you got burned, listen to my soapbox. You get burned on a $60 game, you spent several hours, you couldn't stand it. Sure, whine and cry, but all these people that never even touched or will not touch The Last of Us or Crackdown 3 or whatever it is.
I remember I got blocked by a guy for asking him what his gamer car was and if he played Crackdown 3. Do you guys get blocked by a guy about?
I got a black guy.
I got
There's
blocked
a
by
guy
it.
going around
Yeah.
blocking guys because he cried about Crackdown 3, even though we gave it like a. I know you gave it a worse score than me, right? I gave it like a 7.5. At least I played the fucking game, bitch. Like, you know, like you're sitting there crying about a game you never even played, acting like it's the worst thing you ever
And
fucking
you never
seen.
even played it.
And you never played it. It's like, what a
was
fucking
like, hey,
fraud.
well, I see your gamer tag. I would like to see if
He's
you
like,
actually
well,
play
I
games.
won't tell you that, and I'm blocking you, and it's hidden.
Look, and I'm saying this because there's a lot of Xbox or even multi-platform fans in the chat, and there's a couple of people on the panel and in our chat that like The Last of Us 2. And one of them, I won't even call him out, one of them said, like, relax, guys. I liked the game. It was a good game. And this guy's like got 2 playthroughs on it. Like, we're all just gamers, but
I like the
holy
game,
smokes.
shit.
Like, if you're not going to play the game, say your piece once and move on. Like, it's kind of pointless.
The worst people are the ones that hide their achievements or their trophies. Those are the worst people because then, like,
Which one
which one of y'all blocking your shit? I will show my stuff, and you know, and everybody knows in here. Everybody, I haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, but I'm not going to hide.
I'm not
very
very
good,
good though.
Zocker, this guy called me out the
Don't
other
make me kill
day.
you.
Where's Colt's PSN ID? What's his PSN ID? I bet he's not even playing these games he makes videos on. It's like, what? Colt Eastwood on PSN has been public for like freaking 13 years or whatever. Like, you can look up you can see everything. And this person hides his PlayStation ID and was telling me where's mine. Like, come on.
Let me give
I don't know.
a few shout outs here. I ain't been keeping up. I've been fucking dozing off. Malik, by the way, from Poland. Shout out to you, brother. We get listeners from France, Poland, Nigeria, like everywhere, guys. So again, you guys make the show what it is. One of the biggest podcasts in the world, and probably the biggest Xbox podcast in the world. He says, dealer, what if there are more than 2 next-gen consoles? And I would say, personally, I wouldn't worry about it. But hey, if there are, that's their product stack to worry about. If motherfuckers can't read or tell the difference between 2 prices, then, you know, I feel sorry for them, to be honest. So I wouldn't worry about it, brother. Womanhood, he says, social media gives everyone a voice, but some should learn when to shut up. That's a fucking stone cold fact. Neon Shinobi, he says, what are your thoughts on Sony PR? Vice and hang on.
Well,
Contacting Vice and disagreeing with the review. I didn't know about that. I'm sure.
Vice? What's Vice?
I don't know. I'm guessing
This is a website.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they didn't like a review or score or something like that. I mean, I don't know. You say that, but I mean, Sony has a fuck ton of games that didn't review well. I mean, people like to act like they have nothing but bangers, but this is not the case. The Order was almost at a 60, right? Drive Club is 70. Even one of the better games, Infamous Second Son, at 80. right? Knack in the 50s. Gran Turismo, the last one, was a 75. There are a lot of
All their
games.
exclusives last year.
I mean, Days Gone is 71, I think. Death Stranding barely in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Not that that matters to everybody. It's not the point. The point is they get a lot of games that review pretty badly or just, all right, whatever. And I don't hear any controversy about it. Yeah, so, again, thanks for the question, though, buddy. And then we get Garrett in the Super Chat. He says, thanks for what you guys do, and thank you for the common sense and always keeping... we're keeping the shit real, and we do appreciate it, buddy.
Guess Who just said Zocker sounds like a cooler version of Randall Thor 19. Thank you, Guess Who. I appreciate that. Rand,
too bad he couldn't be a version of me that actually plays games.
No, there it is. There it is.
Hey,
you know what? A version of
hang on, Nightwolf, real quick. Nightwolf has a good
version
point.
of me that doesn't play on PC.
Yeah, Nightwolf has a good point. He says, I feel justified criticism for Last of Us mainly from misleading trailers, which Zalker pointed out not too long ago, actually, and Sony that made no sense. And what some people forgot to actually mention is the DMC strikes. What
were the misleading trailers?
We're not gonna. It's spoiler territory. I'm not gonna even. Let's just put it this way: some of the lines delivered in the trailers were not delivered by those people, and it's fucking anticlimactic. And I don't care.
I'm not saying you can't be justified in your hate of Last of Us 2. Like, I'm not. I wasn't saying that. I was mainly specifically talking about the leaks, people judging the game before it even came out, basing it on scenes that were completely out of context. Now, Sony was wrong for DMCAing channels that talked about it without showing it 100%. Like, Sony was in the wrong for that. Like, if you play Last of Us 2 and you don't like it, that's your opinion. I got no problem with it whatsoever. But there definitely was a lot of people running with the whole leaks and, like, you know, basically saying the game was garbage before they ever got to experience the 25-hour game, which is I was referring to. So
how come? I want to know why PlayStation gamers aren't mentioning the fact. I remember watching a video last week. Digital Foundry, they kind of dug into the game, and they said that there was some downgrades compared to the first E3 footage that was shown. How come PlayStation guys aren't talking about that? I'm not saying the game doesn't look fantastic. It does.
Because most of their games get. Because honestly, you can find pictures of Uncharted and all of them almost, and most of them. I mean, I'm sure that's pretty common actually, but Nightwolf follows it up by saying he does appreciate Naughty Dog's effort, but it just wasn't for him, and he agrees with people. You know, everyone's got their own choice and decisions and all that stuff.
It's a very divisive game.
Yeah, it's a divisive game, as Soccer 87 says.
Wasn't Death Stranding like critically panned while it got decent reviews, it got pretty good reviews, but it also got review bombed by user
the thing is, Sony have I don't know how many websites and magazines basically for PlayStation and hundreds from almost all of them.
Yeah,
I mean, didn't that game get the most hundreds of any Sony exclusive ever ran or something like that?
Yeah, I think Death Stranding did until like maybe Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Actually,
Death Stranding does not deserve that at all.
No.
I mean, did they know what the fuck 100 is? This is A+, bitch, like a perfect score.
How does a game that doesn't have great gameplay have a perfect score? I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's games that don't have a ton of gameplay that are like 90s, you know, like
Death Stranding is like
stuff like that.
God damn.
It's funny because Death Stranding had a whole bunch of hundreds, but end up at like an 83. It definitely had its fair share of 82, really bad reviews too.
Animal Crossing New Horizons got great scores, and that's one of the boringest fucking games I've ever played.
Hey, I got to shout out to over 2,500 people watching this live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get past 1,000 for the end of the show. We do appreciate it. Show a buddy or two. Let them know about the Xbox-centric podcast. It's our perspective from
you talking about PlayStation dealer?
Yeah, I'm talking about PlayStation.
I always get that too. I talked about Last of Us on Xbox 2.
I talk about whatever the fuck we want, man.
I talk about whatever the fuck I want. It's my podcast.
Your mouth.
On dealer's channel.
Why are you talking about PlayStation? It's like, well, I mean, because I want.
It's not a vacuum. Last I checked, it's not a vacuum.
I mean, like I always say, Microsoft, Sony, same coin, opposite sides. And secondly, it's real deal Xbox podcast. You know, everything we talk about is from the perspective of an Xbox centric kind of gamer, right? So, at least, you know, most of us anyway. But I like that balance, that kind of perspective. Maybe that not all of us may not have, because you want somebody that might not prefer just your platform or whatever.
What do you think of The Last of Us, Dealer?
I said it last week. Yeah, until somebody turns into a damn animorph, like, I'm pretty damn happy with the game. Like, I don't have any. I mean, the flashbacks are kind of all over the place, but again, it's a masterclass. Fucking it's super technically impressive. Like,
but you still got a ways to go, man. Like,
I skipped a naughty scene today.
I don't have that much ways to go. Apparently.
I skipped a naughty scene today.
Why?
Because I didn't want to see it. I don't know. I just think it's so weird to have like polygons and pixels. Like, nope, sorry, weird to me, man. I just like saw it coming a mile away, and I'm like, yeah, and skip cinematic.
Oh my god. That's the funny. Ghost Gamer, shout out to you, brother. New channel member. If you want to become a channel member, hit that join button down by the subscribe button. We've also got Zinner. He says, doing great job, guys. Is it true that Microsoft has acquired Konami game catalog? Brand, is that true?
I mean, according to Zocker, they've acquired like 15 new studios over the past couple months.
Yeah, and they've also had 75 new dashboards, you bitch.
Damn right they have. Damn right. I don't know, Zocker, if they bought Konami? What's the latest on that?
What the fuck's my dashboard update? Shit.
Where's my dashboard update?
I'm trying to get one of them shits.
I'm trying to get one out.
Oh my god. New games. We've also got Clapper. He says in Naughty Dog did. Oh, man, we gotta go. I ain't talking about Naughty Dog anymore, man. I'm done with talking about Naughty Dog. We appreciate you guys chiming in though, for sure. Cheesy McSqueezy, you too, buddy. Everybody that's pissed off about Naughty Dog, unfortunately, I'm just not pissed off about it. I don't give two fucks. Like, nope. It's different. It's different. It's their game. They can do whatever they want. It's like somebody bitching at me about a thumbnail. Like, I can put whatever I want on the thumbnail. Like, these guys spent 7 years building this thing, putting their lives into it, and they decided to do certain things, and we might not agree, but that's okay. And I think people need to remember it's okay. Not, fuck. But Turn 10 still ain't got online multiplayer right after fucking 16 decades. Like, shit don't go the right way all the time, damn it. So, again, I had another topic, but I got a headache from hell. I got to jump off here, and we got to end the show. We got to thank all of you for tuning in and being adults about it, and we're going to have a Bug Snacks gaming night when that comes out, so we want all of you to come out and play Bug Snacks with us on the PS5. Also, Patreon thing, again, I gotta get off here pretty quick, so we'll do this next week. We're gonna do some shout outs to the panel here, and of course everyone in the chat. Thanks again for what you guys do. You power the show, and we'll come back a little bit better next week. Again, shout out to everybody there. Colt, another week, another show, brother. Fantastic chat as always. Where can people find you, man? What have you been playing?
I want to just change my shout out to Noof, D-Batch, Rand, and Dealer, and Zocker.
Oh
no, good show, really good. It's good talk games with you guys. Like, yeah, it's good. I've been playing The Last of Us and Star Wars Battlefront 2 co-op online with Dealer and Darj Knight. It's been fun. Actually been really fun to kind of load up a 3-year-old game and go, wow, this game looks like it could have been made yesterday. Looks really good. And I'm having fun, so.
All right. Not sure what that noise was at the end. D-Batch, buddy, where can people find you, and what have you been playing? All right. Fuck D-Batch.
I'm here. Sorry. My wife was talking. No. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at D_Batch. And of course, on YouTube, D-Batch. I put up an interesting video today. It was great having Rand on. It was great having Newfon, and of course, the rest of, Dealer, Zalker, all of you guys. It was great having you on. Yeah.
Thanks for having us on your show, D. We've also got Noof Nukem. Where can people find you, buddy? What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing The Last of Us 2. Just started Control, and of course, you guys will find me on my YouTube channel right after this wraps up with Gaming After Dark. Probably even our guest tonight is Craig Simmons. You might know him on Xbox's Hollywood. Should be a good show. So a big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for sending me the invite to come out and be here. Colt, D, Rand, Zocker, and of course you, Dealer. Thanks again for having me here, man. Look forward to coming back in the future. Good stuff, and definitely excited for what Xbox is going to show later next month.
You want to tell the people how to find your YouTube channel?
Yeah, just Noof Nukem. That's it. Just go over and check it out.
Some people can't spell Noof. What do they do?
NEWFNUKEM. Noof Nukem. Boom, boom, kaboom.
Randolph Thor, buddy. Thanks for jumping in randomly, man. You're always welcome. Of course, you know that. So if anybody ever says anything, it's always Rand's fault. He's not here.
Always my fault.
Yeah.
Jumped in.
But
that's all you needed me, Dealer. You needed me.
Well, you know, that's a hell of a claim. But we do appreciate you jumping in, man. And of course, tell people where they can find you and what have you been playing. And how come for the guy that has 1 million something gamer score, you had the least gameplay ever in your videos?
Yeah, because I was playing I finished Last of Us like last week, and I've been watching finished up Dark season 3, perhaps the greatest time travel sci-fi story ever told. It's on Netflix. Watch that.
Not a game.
Yeah, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's Randall Thor 19.
I couldn't tell if you broke up or if it ended.
I don't know, but Dark is not a game.
He was like slowly whispering with his lips hanging out of a bush.
I make dashboard videos, so go check them out.
Yeah, check out his dashboard videos. You need updates or something. But yeah, Rand, I know you're using the Xbox One X DVR, and that thing just fucking...
And it doesn't work!
Yeah, it's trash, but... Yeah, thanks for coming on again, buddy. Zalker, where can people find you? What have you been playing, bud?
Yeah, man, it was a great time. Everybody chat. You guys are great. The show was great. I had a lot of fun. You guys can find me at Zalker87 on YouTube, Zalker87. I've been playing The Last of Us 2. I just beat it this past weekend. Yeah, I'll give you guys thoughts about that later. And yeah, I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront with Dealer and all these guys, and the new Rainbow Six Siege season. So I've been enjoying that also. But yeah, it was a great time. Chat, you guys make the show, and Dealer, go handle that headache, boy. Take a little nap on that pillow.
Well,
right?
I forgot. I just said fuck the topic. So the July event for Xbox, we did kind of cover that a little bit, but yeah, I think that's going to be definitely the back half of the month, right? So yeah, I mean, again, guys, be excited. There's no reason not to be excited for the future of gaming in general, let alone Xbox as a brand. They finally crawled out of this fucking this pit they've been in, that they've dug themselves for the most part. When 2013 curb stomped themselves. So we talked about it a million times. It's just crazy how far they've come. That's my point. I can't wait to see what they're doing and the technology they decide to display. And they're doing big things, man. So everybody be excited. Again, positivity, preferably. Also,
and enjoy your 4th of July.
Enjoy your 4th of July, America Day for those in the
America
States.
birthday, boy.
Yeah, and again, yeah, 4th of July. Yeah, that's quick. That's coming up close, man.
Yeah, Saturday. Enjoy the
Canada
family,
Day
man.
tomorrow for me and D.
Canada Day for those guys.
Kick these guys. Kick them.
Shout out to all the Canadians in the chat as well. French Canadian in the chat as well. Even Super Chat. Shady's in the chat. But again, guys, you guys rock. I've been playing Battlefront 2. I've been playing Last of Us 2. And I've been playing guitar. So, yeah, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for everything you do. Check the links down below. Quit bragging. Check the links down below. Patrons, etc. Join the channel. We're out.
Peace.
Cold surprise.
Potato chat.
Happy America Day. Happy Canada Day.
Lethal's got a butt ass lid on it.
We're still on, and now they know you're weird.